I think it's just a couple short years until vigilantism starts to rise up. And it becomes a real problem. I really do, though.
Yeah.
I really do.
Hey, who's a fan of Steve Buscemi?
I like Steve Buscemi.
He's cool.
I think he's hilarious.
I really like him, but he looks like the definition of a possessed man.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, right?
What's he look like?
Is he getting surgery for his eyes or something?
No, but
Don't tell me he's
I
doing
heard he
that.
had like some gum disease or something.
Gum disease?
I think so. Or teeth.
Did you hear when Mel Gibson talked about him and he said Steve Buscemi like hovered over to him like a demon?
What?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson said that?
This is Steve Buscemi. You remember.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
He's hella cool. He's so funny.
He's really funny.
What did he do?
What did he do?
Oh, no.
Did he do something?
Or
Is he a
something?
molester?
What happened to him? Something.
Here's what he did.
Oh.
This happened on 3rd Avenue by East.
Oh,
Oh, it's what happened to him.
They punched him?
Why?
Why?
Exclusive video shows actor Steve Buscemi looking at his phone as he walked south on 3rd Avenue last Wednesday before noon.
It doesn't show
The
it
66-year-old
happening
looks
to
up to
him.
greet someone, and then moments later, just after crossing East 27th Street, is when police say Buscemi was punched by this man unprovoked. It's crazy.
Just a random dude just.
the guy's jacked too.
Dude, you know
bro.
what sucks?
You don't want to get punched by that
It
guy.
had to happen in New York too.
Hey, wasn't there a thing going on where like a bunch of dudes are just punching chicks in the face in New York?
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
There was.
But it's not a bunch of dudes. It's just the same crazy schizo guys that are walking around.
Well, if I saw that guy, he kind of looks like he looks angry and he looks like he's a little mentally off.
Yeah, there's footage of him earlier walking around talking to himself. So it's like it's not regular people with like an actual thought out vendetta.
What if he just
Yeah,
hates
yeah,
Steve
yeah.
Buscemi, dude? Do you think if he found out it was Steve Buscemi, he's like, oh,
Your movies. Oh no.
I like him.
Fargo.
So this is one of those things where you know those news interviews when they just happen to talk to a really funny guy. This is one of those.
Oh!
A New Yorker?
They're gonna explain
The
it?
last guy just said something so funny.
It's gonna be a meme?
I hope so because it's a really great line and you would appreciate it a lot. Not this guy, next guy.
This man spoke to us after a dentist visit.
Leadership of our country and our city. They'd arrest you, but you'd be out the next day or that afternoon. So why not punch out Steve Buscemi?
This dude got a root.
got dental work? Why not just punch him?
Why not punch
Amazing.
out Steve Buscemi?
Amazing. And he's got the veteran hat on and the whole thing.
If anything sums up the current state of our laws and how the consequences work, that's the sentence. Why not punch out Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, you can.
What's gonna happen to me?
Can.
Nothing will happen to you.
I bet I get more in trouble if I punch Steve Buscemi than if that fucking homeless guy did. Probably, right?
Good things to take away from you.
I don't even know if that guy was homeless. He might have just been like a.
Yeah, he just looked like a regular dude trying to work out.
Yo, I was just there a few
Super
weeks
jacked.
ago, and I'm like walking to work because we have this venue that's like walking distance, and like every time I walk, there's always something weird happening at night. Like there's a guy fucking. Like super loud,
Screaming.
where it sounds like something's happening, but then you look and it's like just like a fucking
Just a
random
guy.
dude.
If you walked here in LA, it'd be the same.
Yeah, and that happens so. There's so much of that.
It's like part of the culture.
Why is that happening in all of our major cities?
You guys aren't used to it by now?
But that shouldn't even be a thing, you know.
Because I'm wondering, like, when you're in Tokyo, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But like from Honolulu all the way to New York, there's always like a screaming homeless man doing kung fu all over America.
Yeah.
Well, America has some problems.
And then they just punch somebody.
Yeah.
The thing about it though is like exactly what that guy was just saying hilariously. Like if you do a major crime like this, you're out on the street the next day. So these people are just out again. Whereas I think most of those people maybe who would have done it in Japan are incarcerated.
Yeah, you go to jail.
Big difference.
Or there's there's
right.
like help. There's mental health facilities that keep people or whatever. So I kind of went on a deep dive in the States, like why we don't have those asylums no more.
Yeah. Why is that?
Dude, back in the day, what they would do is guys that just don't want their fucking wives no more, they'll be like, this bitch is crazy, and they drop them off.
Wait, what?
You telling me that could work?
Yeah, hear me out.
Because you know, back in the day, you had to like be with a husband, right? You couldn't be like kind of like, so they'll be like, this bitch is hysterical, and then they drop them off. There's people that like are like, let's say they're kind of anti-government or like they have radical thoughts,
Right.
Then it was kind of like witch hunty, where they're like, oh, that person's crazy. They're not really.
You're talking about how they threw the baby out with the bathwater. There were people who needed to go to mental institutions, but then a lot of people abused the system, and then they just said, scrap the whole system because some of it's bad.
Yep. So then there used to be like, I mean, this is like Victorian America, and then like so on. They kept doing shit like that.
Damn.
Have you ever seen some of the asylums though that are like?
They're all abandoned now, right?
Elaborate fucking brick factories.
I always thought they closed it due to like a funding issue.
That's what I thought.
Because usually when I think of government not wanting to do something, it's because there's no money. So I figured maybe they weren't making enough, or they weren't like something had to do with.
That makes more sense.
Well, I think it was also a problem of like it was getting overfilled too, right? Wasn't that an aspect of like why they shut down some of those asylums?
I think they were just seen as barbaric, like Joe's saying. Like they were seen as like, oh well, people are doing the wrong things with this.
It's inhumane.
Yeah, it's inhumane. Yeah.
There was a time too when they try to fix everything with lobotomies.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they a lot of
that footage is crazy.
It's actually crazy.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's insane.
It'll show before and afters of like people that got their brain drilled.
Fuck no.
And they take a little piece off, so that and they just turn into basically vegetables. But like
and it's just a complete like crapshoot science experiment. Like,
I'll show you.
Well, they don't even know.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just trying stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that was the science at the time.
Let's just see.
For sure, yeah.
There's too much. Yeah, I feel like they got their hands too dirty, so then they probably should
get rid of it.
In a way to like scrub records, possibly.
Like a liability.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like if you're an institution and you have that stain, like people are gonna be like, "Oh, you guys used to lobotomize people."
Can you show this shit?
I mean, it's on regular YouTube.
Female, age 25, state hospital, patient for 4 years, failure to improve after several courses of both insulin and convulsive.
So they shot them.
So that's
damn, dude. Hey, let's just electrocute her several times a day and see if it fixes her. In insulin shots?
Good chance into it.
Wait, what the heck?
this footage is scary, right?
Yeah, it's scary.
Hella
This is
scary.
old.
Yeah, these are like the real like people they did it to. So like,
Dude, look at this. That
Oh my
dude's-
god,
Look
look
at
at
the
his
scars.
hair.
Oh my.
Good thing they scrapped it. Actually, I had to take it back.
They're like, hey, look it, they're great.
He's eating cereal.
maybe it did get so out of control that they were like,
Yeah, there was a lot of
More
like,
harm than good.
It attracted psychopath like doctors and shit to come in, practice, and there was abuse. There's all kinds of issues, and I think that's why the government's like, we don't want to get our hands dirty. So leave them on the fucking streets, like I don't know.
The public deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard to see though that like some people you just can't really imagine them having to come back from the state they're in.
Yeah.
I think it's just a couple short years until vigilantism starts to rise up.
Yeah.
Becomes a real problem. I really do, though.
Yeah.
I really do. Because like people are,
People are sick and tired of
we're
all
sick of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty sick of
And if you
it.
can't trust law enforcement in any way whatsoever,
Or DAs.
or DAs exactly,
Sucks,
Where's
man.
Batman at, dude?
Because vigilantism is what leads to organized crime.
yep.
All these like past examples of
Like Yakuza.
yeah, they all come from vigilantism.
Protection rackets.
Do you think it's the same cycle that's gonna happen again? Because there's already crime and whatever, like.
rampant now.
It's a pattern, right? It happens cyclically because
When you can't trust the state.
yeah.
The thing that I think is the monkey wrench in this whole situation is that fighting back against the people that want to fix this has been monetized by the politicians. So like the sentiment of like no, don't hurt them is actually there's a lot of money behind that. That's being made not by
So
the
they
people that
want more people hurt so that they can keep making money for.
Well, they want to stoke the fires of the sentiment of defending homeless people from shit that's not really the attack. It's like no, they're trying to make them be helped, but even fucking with the situation at all,
Yeah.
like it's starting to look like oh, like you're inhumane for wanting to put them in a
home. Yeah.
It's like what? Wait, huh? It's like a strange thing. I never thought I would hear that where like a guy creates a house on the sidewalk and then everybody's like, no, the sidewalk is for everyone. He could be able to do that.
I know.
And it's like the sidewalk is for everyone. Is the defense?
Yeah.
It's for everyone to walk on. But once he built a house, we can't walk on it anymore.
But just you always think that like everything's a slippery slope in terms of precedent. It's like, okay, if we allow that, then what's the next thing beyond that?
Well, look, it's like, you know, you get the guy who builds the house on the sidewalk, and then a kid walks in the street because the guy's house is in the way, and then that kid gets hit by a car, and then they make some new law about that.
Yeah.
And nobody's attacking the actual issue, which is the guy who built the house on the sidewalk.